right. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. I was driving the school bus at the time, and this was back in the winter of 2008. I was carrying my husband's first child. I was 5 months along. I had a really, really bad headache that day, and I got back after my run to the bus garage. I finished the second run, went home. I got worse, and I picked up the phone to call my mom, and my fingers and brain were not connecting the dots, and somehow, by God's grace, I finally got a hold of her after I don't know how many tries. And she was rushing to come to the house to get me. I was throwing up at that point, and the doctor that she was on the phone with said you'd bring her to the hospital. They rushed me to the emergency room, did an MRI, and I had a brain bleed happening. My husband's mom had passed away from a brain bleed, so he was super duper scared. Make sure she's okay before you send her home, because they sent his mom home and they missed it. They kept me in the hospital for 3 weeks. They said they might have to drill to release the pressure, but they were able to not do that, which was a blessing. I had a vision while I was in there. My mother-in-law, who I never met, she had passed away, was holding our baby in her arms in a rocking chair. And she looked at me and said, "Don't worry, everything's gonna be okay." And that gave me such peace. But then I heard another voice telling me that I had lived a good life, and if I wanted to come home and I was ready to come home, then I could. But I said, I'm not ready. I can't leave my family and have my husband lose his wife and daughter in one swoop. After I got out of the hospital, I went through physical therapy because the blood drained down my spine. I had to use a walker. My speech was messed up. I had to retrain my brain. It was a struggle trying to get through the frustration of working through that healing process. It took a long time, but I finished in half the time because I did those exercises, and I knew I had to be back to normal before this baby was born. And she was born May 3rd, 2009, and we named her Vanessa Marilyn after Keith's mom, Marilyn. The real turning point for me was actually just a few years ago. I got baptized here, and that was it for me. I felt that Holy Spirit filling me up. This is what He wants me to do. This is where He wants me to move. And now I'm doing Ladies of Honor in Cedar Springs, and that's been an amazing journey, helping these girls at their toughest age. In fact, I said, I don't want to do this. This is a really hard age. I've raised 4 kids of my own, but He wouldn't let me say no. You can never say no to God, right? I've never looked back. My name is Michelle Stuart, and this is my story.